Hello and welcome to another Video Games to the Max. This is episode 132, and I'm your host Sean Geimer, and this is the official Full One Game Zone podcast. With me today is my co-host, Mr. Mark Morrison.
Howdy.
Well, we tried to do this yesterday, but I fell asleep. So,
Don't worry, I made fun of you for it.
yes, I send out tweets with him tagged about the podcast. No retweets or anything, but then he sends me a tweet making fun of me. So there you go. See how this lovely relationship works.
Well, it was weird on Facebook because after you fell asleep, I think I texted you twice to say like, "Are you awake?" or like, "What's going on?" And like they disappeared from my screen, and I was like,
What?
"What happened?"
That's crazy. Yeah. No, I saw them afterwards. I think I woke up at like 2 in the morning and was like, oh crap, I fell asleep.
I was still up at that time too. That was kind of sad on my part.
Oh, it's okay. Normally I am awake till like 3 or 4 in the morning, so that would be no change on that. But yeah, so I mean, there's not a ton of stuff to discuss, but I mean, who would have thought there would be a scandal going on? And Pokemon Go has apparently got everybody going crazy. Even, you know, I am, on Twitter doing stuff with wrestling all the time, and so many pro wrestlers are talking about. I'm just hooked on this Pokemon Go right now. It's so weird to hear people talk about that. But what have you been playing, Mark?
Well, not Pokemon Go. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, like always. Titan Souls. I bought Costume Quest 2 on PS4, and it runs better than PC. And a game called the Technomancer on PC.
So, what is a Technomancer about?
It is, I think, I don't know if it's a direct or a spiritual sequel to a game called Mars Warlogs, but it's a science fiction action RPG. You play a Technomancer who is like a mutant that has electrical powers, and you're a cop on Mars. It's like a low-rent version of Mass Effect.
So, is that good or bad?
Uh, it's kind of both. Like, it's good. It has charm, and you can see the people are trying. Like, I give them credit for that. But the combat just feels off, like really bad. And animation priority is kind of high in the game, so you can be trying to heal, and like to heal, you have to go in the menu and select healing item, and your guy will pull out the syringe and inject himself with it. And it's like in that time, you've probably gotten attacked once or twice more. Uh, and it's an RPG, but like none of the leveling up mechanics feel great. Like it's like when you get a new skill, it's like I want to feel better, or when you gain a new level, it's like I want to be more powerful. And in this game, it just does not happen. Like I have a level 8 character now, and I just tried to mess with it. I loaded up Cheat Engine and just created a separate save file and gave myself everything, and even against normal grunts, I still didn't feel great. Like I still getting my ass kicked by him.
Well, so basically, there's no point in leveling up because it doesn't matter.
Well, you gain some spell. You gain like new like Technomancer abilities in one skill tree, but you have 3 stances like Warrior, Guardian, and Rogue. Warrior, you have a shield and sword, like mace. Guardian is a staff, and Rogue is a dagger. And I think Rogue is the best because it's the quickest and you can dodge the best. It feels a lot like Risen 2, and that's not exactly a good or bad thing.
I've never played the Risen games, so
I started with 2, and I liked it, but the combat system was bad, and then it got worse in Risen 3.
well, so it's not bad, but it's in the middle.
Yeah. Like, I read an IG interview, and they gave it like a 4.9, and I was like, no,
Oof.
I mean, that's low. That's a little too low, I think.
Yeah. Well, so you would say like a
I'll
five and a
probably
half, 6?
no, I'll probably give it like a 6, maybe 7. It really depends on where the story goes or if it kind of picks up any. Um, yeah, there's just like a lot of weird systems in it that aren't explained that well, and they kind of expect you to just kind of pick it up and go.
So is the story good at all?
No, I, I'm only like 3 hours into it,
Oh,
so
okay,
I mean
okay.
I can't judge that at all. Like I just got to like the first big area after beating this like insect looking boss, and I'm like, all right, now I have a story, or now I have a town to explore. So let's see where this goes. But apparently there's like a lot of weird systems, like a day night, like a fatigue system. You have to like rest, like to restore your character, and I'm just like, this isn't an MMO. Like I shouldn't have to do this crap. Also, one of the weird things is you can when you don't kill enemies, you just knock them out. And if you kill an enemy, you can't kill them. You drain them of their serum. I think that's like their brain power or something, and that kills them. But it affects your morality system. And
Ah.
the lame explanation was all life on Mars is precious. And I'm like, yeah, except for the life that's trying to kill me. Then fuck them.
Yeah, all the exactly. It's life on Earth is precious except for the yeah. Just
But
you don't have to be precious about life. It's fine.
and I actually think it looks. I mean, you can tell it's a pretty kind of budget title, but it actually kind of looks okay. Like the environments actually look pretty good, and I'm kind of impressed by some of what they do. Like character models look pretty ugly, uh, but it looks fine. I mean, it runs well on my PC, which I'm kind of surprised about, and it plays a lot better than Mars Warlocks ever did. Like that was a pretty gnarly game.
So is Mars Warlocks like pretty much the same thing then?
Yeah, except it had a lot more prison rape. So
Well, that's always a plus. Having
yeah.
less prison rape.
Well, I don't know if it's plus or minus, but like in Mars Warlocks, you started off in a prison, and one of the characters is like, "I'm going to rape you," and it's like, well, this is a nice start to a game.
That's so weird.
It's Focus Home Interactive, and I think they're Eastern European.
I feel like I've heard of them before.
They're French, so yeah, I would have guessed Polish, but
Yeah, in the
they make a lot. They publish a lot of crap like Blood Bowl and Cities XL. Dear God, and
Farming Simulator.
oh yeah, and the Sherlock Holmes games.
There's a new Six game coming out. I had no idea.
Why?
Okay. The first one wasn't that great, but okay.
I mean, it has its fans, but like no one is clamoring for a sequel.
I feel like I've heard of the Mordheim game, but
Yeah.
not too sure about what it is. So I had a crappy time trying to get Pokemon Go to work. Apparently, it either really works for you or it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's just getting hammered, so what do you expect? I mean...
Yeah. The first night, I mean, because at one point it actually went live on accident.
Yeah.
And then you had people playing it, and then they took it down. Then they made it go live the next day. And they, like, you sent me a workaround, and I was like, I'll just wait. And then woke up the next morning, oh, Pokemon Go's live again.
Yeah.
And then I tried to get it to work, just to get it set up. It wouldn't even log in. It wouldn't even let me log in to actually get it to work. I got it to work at work, so I could log in and actually have the character there or whatever. And then when I went to go walk the dog was the first time I actually got to use it. And I caught a Bulbasaur. And yeah, you definitely can get lost trying to look for stuff. Just walking the dog, I was like, oh, I kind of forgot what I'm supposed to be doing here. And then after that, it wouldn't load it would tell me to go to the Poke Shop, which is the next thing it wants you to do, and it wouldn't load the map. It would keep telling me that I lost GPS signal, even though I'd go turn my GPS, my maps on, and the Google Maps would work fine. So the thing obviously has some issues. I mean, I've seen a lot of people have like tons of Pokemon and stuff, so I guess that obviously depends on your location and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
apparently, it drains your battery like no other. So be
Yeah, I
prepared.
mean, what do you expect?
Well, I mean, like they're even telling people that you need to make sure that before you leave the house to go on a Pokemon expedition, uh, make sure you charge your battery. I'm like, wow, okay, it's that serious.
soon they'll just
Uh,
be, soon they'll just be releasing like Pokemon themed battery packs for it.
yeah, exactly. I got to play a bit more of Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I finally got out of the first dungeon. Man, those puzzles are not. At least the puzzle that's constant through the first dungeon is not hard. It's just annoying, and you have to do a lot of backtracking. And it's also the thing that with your gamepad where it gives you messages or whatever, where it constantly tells you, "Oh hey, you have this new skill. Oh hey, you have this," and so it makes you feel like you need to go out of the dungeon and go get the new skill or whatever. Sometimes it's like weapon upgrades that obviously make your character much better. So it's like, okay, now I need to go warp back to the base and get my new weapon, and because eventually like your weapon will max out, so there's like no point to continuing to battle with that weapon. So you kind of need to go get the new weapon so you can keep learning abilities and stuff. So yeah, that's it's not a issue or whatever. It's more like you need to have some patience when you play the game necessarily, because if you don't like that kind of stuff where it's constantly trying to tell you to do something, may bother you. But battle system's still awesome so far. That's pretty much it for me, other than continue to play Pokemon Yellow uh,
The
in trips to the bathroom and stuff like that.
the newest Pokemon game there is.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, but yeah, so let's get on to this. So I had not heard about. I think nobody had heard about Evolve for like a long time,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, oh bam! Evolve is now free to play, and I remember you saying this was probably going to happen. And didn't they just talk about Evolve 2 was going to have single player and all this other stuff, and get ready for Evolve 2, and then, oh, it's Evolve Stage 2, and it's going to have new hunters and all this stuff, like, yeah.
They need to stop. No one, no one cared about Evolve in the first place. Like, I mean, Team Fortress 2 had a good switch from going like paid to free to play, but other games have not. Like, Monday Night Combat springs to mind, and I don't see this game picking up at all. Like, no one liked it in the first place, and it's like, yeah, who cares?
Yeah, it's not changing what the game is, which is like that 4v1 stuff, and that 4v1 fad died with Evolve, pretty much.
It started and ended with Evolve, so
Well, also because Fable Legends never came out, but
that's what I meant.
it's just, but I mean, who knows? It's weird that.
Like, it when that game came out, they seemed really desperate for it to hit, and they're like, it's going to be this whole esports phenomenon, and it's like, no, game like that needs to come naturally. Like, you trying to force it onto people is not going to work.
Right, and eventually it just became too like where the more monsters you got, the more OP the monster got, and it became annoying to play as the hunters and everything, and just I don't know. I never saw this going very far as far as it becoming something you really want to play over and over.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who played it. Like, I have one friend who played it when it first came out, but that was it. And he played it for like a month or two, and then that was it.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I had a friend that played it for a couple of weeks. I played the demo. I thought it was okay. Just there wasn't anything in there that hooked me per se. And I never remember people going, "Oh my god, this is great! I gotta play this now." Other than the first like month or so.
You know what they should have done is paid people to play it, and then post fake YouTube videos about how great it is.
Well, they have Microsoft for that, I guess. So Nintendo has filed another patent for another controller, and this pretty much looks like a phone with the gamepad like overlay on it. Uh, would
So
not surprise me at all.
they're making a Jaguar controller.
Yeah, I mean, they supposedly are considering making actual controllers for the phone, so you can play their phone games with a controller. What the hell is open right now? Is this me or you?
What?
I don't know what is on right now. Okay.
I hear nothing.
Wow.
So
I hear stuff, but I don't know if it's going to them, and it probably was. That's bad. Some ad just decided to randomly start playing on my computer for some weird reason.
I heard nothing. So
Uh, yeah. I mean, I have old stuff open that I haven't touched, and
I
I
just have
want to.
all I
What?
have is a cat being naughty and trying to go for my network cable as we're doing this.
To actually chew on it.
He's like trying to bat it around.
Ah, yeah. That'd be good if he knocks it out.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of the games with the gamepad on the phone. So,
Yeah. The biggest offender to me was Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's like they just drew a D-pad and buttons onto it and it's like on a 5-inch phone this doesn't quite work.
yeah, especially because you need the combos and stuff to be able to do the specials and everything. That doesn't. Oh, some, you don't have to put everything on the phone. Some things might just work better on a PC or a console. It's not that bad. As far as the controller thing goes, I think that's not a bad thing if you come out with games that actually would deserve having a controller, but I think the point of the phone is that you want to play with the phone, not to have this thing you have to carry around.
Yeah.
If not, you might as well just have a 3DS or something.
You say that's something built for it at least.
Yeah, it has to be something you can just plug it in. It's small, or whatever. It can't be this bulky thing that you have to now take a bag, and instead of having it in your pocket still or whatever. Um, so there's this, so many of these things happen where they have listings for jobs, and there's been a listing for this thing with Diablo for a while for various people. And there's a new one that came out now where they're looking for someone that can lead Diablo into the future, whatever that means.
So they're
And
making
so,
it a space game.
yeah, making Diablo StarCraft, basically. Uh, it leads people to think that there might be another Diablo coming. What do you think?
I mean, it's been 3 years, 4 years
Yeah.
since Diablo came out. I mean, it's been kind of a long time. Or Diablo 3 came out. Even Reaper of Souls. I mean, it came out in 2014. I mean, it did well, but it was kind of a band-aid onto a pretty damaged game. Like, if I do want to see Diablo 4, but I want them to make some very specific changes to it if they do make it. Like, not making it online for PC. Like, online required, I should say.
Do you think that it'll come on console and PC at the same time?
I think it kind of has to, because Diablo 3 did really well on consoles. Like, that is still one of the best co-op, like, couch co-op games around for consoles. It's not quite as patch heavy, or, like, it's not quite in sync with the PC version, but it still is, like, pretty solid with that stuff. So, yeah, I think it kind of has to come out to if not day and date, then really soon. But I would expect day and date because of how Overwatch did.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense. And now that they've released Overwatch that way, and you know what Diablo 3 did, at least the expansion on the consoles, you'd have it come out with the console as well. It's just a game that's built, like you said, for that. Even by yourself, it's still fun and better to play on a gamepad. I think just me actually having played it
Yeah.
on the.
Oh, it's also easier on a gamepad because you can roll.
Yeah, you don't have to do the whole having the mouse. I mean, there's still a lot of people that go, "Oh, mouse and keyboard, it's the best," whatever. But you know,
Well, like for fine control, that's completely true. But like you don't need that type of control in Diablo.
no, you don't. I mean, is there anything that they haven't done that you think needs to be in the game, or?
I would say a better crafting system, personally. Yeah, I know I was kind of joking about like the sci-fi aspect, but take it into like a really different direction, like than this fantasy. Like go wild with it. Like see what you can kind of create something new.
Do you see them actually trying to do that though? I
Hell no,
mean,
they'll create the same goddamn game that they had the past 3 times, and people will eat it up.
Paul. I mean, they do have a little bit of fantasy with WoW or whatever, but Diablo is sort of that creates that niche for them where you have StarCraft for the space stuff and all that, and so I guess I can see their point of continuing to sort of put it in the same setting.
Well, yeah, but if they want to do that, create like a space, like a sci-fi version, like a StarCraft version of Diablo. Then, like, call it something else. But be a space marine or a Zerg or something.
That wouldn't be too bad. I mean, kind of converge the two franchises together.
Just be like, we're gonna kill Diablo, but the space marine landed on him and killed him instead, and we've joined up with him. It's like, all right.
Yeah, so so I mean, we don't know anything other than this listing, which I mean that could change tomorrow for all we know.
Well,
Especially,
it's telling that like the directors of Diablo 3 have left recently. Like I think Jay Hunter left like 6 months ago, and like the guy who replaced him left like just recently or something.
yeah, that is interesting. Like I understand. Well, one of them had been with Blizzard for a while, right? Like,
Yeah, the guy just left. Like had been with Blizzard for a while.
right. I mean, that one you can kind of understand. Okay, he's been there. He feels like he's kind of done everything. All right, but the new guy leaving, I don't know. Maybe he thinks that he doesn't. He got bored with it, or just
Yeah,
when
I
it
mean,
wasn't for him, or
I think Jay Hunter was the one who's like, I want to go back to writing. It's like, well, okay, go ahead.
yeah. I mean, like I don't see why. What would prohibit you from writing the
Yeah,
next game, or
they're not mutually exclusive or anything.
yeah. I mean, I'm assuming if you wanted to say, "Hey, can I write some of the stuff for the next game or for one of the other games?" they wouldn't have a problem. But maybe he just wanted to get out of the whole doing stuff with Diablo and just
Yeah,
Blizzard in general.
which is I could see that. That'd be a. I could see Blizzard being a pretty stressful company to work for.
Yeah, especially with we don't know how much. I'm assuming Activision leaves them kind of alone, but you've got them to deal with, and then you've got constant games that are always being made or being patched or being something going on. So it's not like they get to just take a break when a game comes out or whatever. So they're constantly doing stuff for it. So
Yeah,
uh, yeah, and I mean talking about things that change, literally right after we got done doing the podcast, BioShock Collection. Now we talked about the fact that they had already
it had leaked, but
it had leaked, but we got the full details now with the BioShock Collection. Of course, it's coming to all three of the main systems, And good for you that Bioshock 1 and 2 are getting remade for PC. So
Yeah, and PC users are getting it for free if they already own it. So
well, that's
that
good.
that's nice.
I mean, it'll come with all the single player DLC. So that was another thing you were wondering.
Yeah, they didn't mention anything about the multiplayer Bioshock 2, so I'm betting that's not going to be there.
I'd imagine how many people really want to go back and play the multiplayer Bioshock 2, though.
Yeah, that like when that came out, no one was like clamoring for it or anything. It's like, well,
That
it's
seemed like
there,
one of the things they put in there because that was the one Ken Levine didn't make, right?
right?
So it was like, oh, well, okay, guys, well, so you have something else to do just in case you don't like this game. There's multiplayer,
It's like if you want to sell, don't sell it back, please.
right? Exactly. I mean, it's interesting. I already own all three of the games on the PS3. Don't know if I'm going to bother with this or not. I mean, it's one of those things that I think is good for people who never got to play these games. You really should. They're all great games.
I think most people have played them though. Also,
Yeah, Paul. It's kind of like Batman. This is one of those things that you're kind of going, "Oh, okay, you didn't need this, but whatever works for you."
yeah, I mean, like the kicker for me is that they're just giving it to the people who own it on PC already. Like that's good on them.
Yeah, I mean, too bad that I think it was Bioshock 2 or Bioshock 1 never came to Vita. I guess we'll see. We're still waiting.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's someone still waiting for Bioshock 1 for the Vita. It's like, all
There's
right,
people that still talk about it, like, "Hey, that's supposed to still keep coming for Vita." I was like, "No." At
it's like,
this point,
well, look how well XCOM did. It's like, do you really want to play Bioshock on this thing?
yeah, Borderlands 2, I think, lagged a ton. I'm sure people were just
Yeah,
waiting for that. No more Fallout 4 DLC after Nuka World.
yeah. I'm pretty pissed about that
Why?
because I bought their season pass. Like I bought it like when they announced that they're going to increase the price, so they suckered me into buying it. And you get you get two story pieces of content and four crappy add-ons for the workshop bullshit. And their past two Fallout games had four pieces of story content.
Ooh. But is
And
it as big or
well,
bigger than?
it doesn't matter. Like for me, the size doesn't matter really. It's uh, each story content in Fallout 3 and New Vegas like did something different, or at least tried to. And this one is just like I think Harbor just has like a bunch of fog in it, and the Nuka World stuff is you can play as a raider. It's like, why would I want to? Like, I wanted more story content. Not you can build a vault and you can make it over like a Sims game. It's like that doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be they must have done some kind of internal testing or something that says, or people must have been clamoring, "I want to play as a raider," because I cannot imagine they just randomly decided, "Okay, we're gonna do this thing where you can play as a raider now, and everybody's gonna love it." Like, I remember this being announced at E3, and there was like no.
Yeah,
eh,
well, when they announced it, it blew through the stage so quickly. Also, they
Yeah.
showed like 15 seconds of gameplay footage, and it was like, all right. But yeah, I'm pissed. I'm just really. I'm not like getting a torch ready to burn down Bethesda, but it's really like a slap in the face. Like
Yeah.
almost all of their other games have been pretty well supported. Like Skyrim had three pieces of
Three. Yeah.
one was kind of shoddy. One was basically like, here's a house that you can build up, but the other two were fine. Like Fallout New Vegas and 3 had 4 each, and Oblivion had some shoddy stuff also at the time. But it's just like, wow, you guys like really cheaped out on this thing, didn't you?
Yeah. True. I have somebody that's posting about there complaining that Pokemon Go needed to have a battle system.
That'll
No,
that'll probably get patched in later.
I don't. I don't see it. Like you either get one game or the other. They're not gonna make a full Pokemon game on the phone. They're not gonna do that when they got Pokemon Sun and Moon coming out in November. They're not gonna do it. Like
Well, it's not going to be a full Pokemon game. It'll probably just be like, pick your one Pokemon that you like, and then you can fight against other people. But you can only do one, and if it gets knocked out, it gets knocked out. Or if it wins, you get like another level or something. But like even if they introduce a battle system, it wouldn't be like a full 6 versus 6 Pokemon or anything like that.
yeah, true. But like even allowing you to do what you do in Pokemon Go, which is sort of the catching aspect of Pokemon and the exploring aspect of Pokemon or whatever, but you don't have and you still sort of have the gym leaders, but you're not battling.
Well, the
Yeah.
other thing is I could see it being more like Ingress. Like,
Yeah.
you go to, if you keep going to a gym or, what they deem as gym, you eventually become the gym master. And then if someone wants to take your spot, they have to battle you for it.
That's sort of what you do in the game. Like you even leave a Pokemon there at the gym, and you can have other people that are online sort of go with you. Like you can have them bring their Pokemon to help you or whatever, but it's not sort of you're not ever really battling, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like I just don't, because once you allow one Pokemon and you have a battle, anything like in the games, people are just gonna keep clamoring for like, well, I have 4 Pokemon or whatever. You need to let me battle with all of them, and you eventually get a lot of what the portable games are. And if I were Nintendo, like, don't blow that on the phone.
Well, here's the thing, though, is the phone might be more profitable.
Yeah, but if you're gonna do that, blow it on the NX. Like, blow it on one of your big systems. Don't do it on the phone.
Yeah, but the NX might not. The NX is still speculative. It might not be able to do what the phone can do.
Well, it should be able to do what the phone can do.
But you're also not going to take, like most people, even if your example was Pokemon Go on the NX, most people aren't going to have an NX controller. They're not going to carry it around.
Oh no, I didn't mean like Pokemon Go NX. I meant like if you're gonna have something that's very much like the Pokemon games on 3DS or whatever, do it on the main system. Don't do it on the phone.
Yeah, but Pokemon's never come to like the handheld version of like the Pokemon RPG.
Yeah.
Of Game Boy has never come to like the home console.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Don't bring it to the phone. Bring it to the home console because you're not really selling anything on the phone. Unless you make it where it's a $20 game on the phone or something like that, which I guess they could do.
No, but all the free to play or all the free to play stuff. Like I know people already who are buying crap into that game.
Yeah.
Like
I
know who never touch a Pokemon game who are like, I bought 10 Pokeballs because I wanted to catch these monsters. So
right.
I mean, this thing might be. I mean, it's already a day. This thing might be the most popular Pokemon game out there.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah, because everybody has a phone, whereas you still have to go buy a 3DS or whatever. I just don't know. Like I don't see Nintendo doing that. Like even with a Mario game or anything like that, unless they just bring over an old one, which they supposedly said they weren't going to do either. It'd always be something new. Like I could see like a Mario Endless Runner before they come out with a Mario actual title.
No, I don't think they would solely Mario with an Endless Runner. They're not that desperate.
Oh, yeah, but
they're not Sega.
Thank God, they're not. Even though Sonic, not bad for that, honestly. Red Dead Redemption is now backwards on Xbox One, or going to be backwards compatible on Xbox One. It has made to the fact that right now it's on sale for $750 if you got an Xbox Live Gold, and it's apparently been selling like hotcakes because of this news. So maybe this backwards compatible stuff is worth it, Sony.
Well, the Warriors is backwards compatible with the PS4.
Yeah, but you got $15 for that.
Yeah. And that's an inferior version of that game compared to the Xbox.
Yeah. Oh, it came out on Xbox? Oh.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Red Dead's fine. I haven't played it in a while. I don't have it anymore like I used to. Yeah, people will probably play it. I'm curious if Undead Nightmare is also backwards compatible or not, though.
I'd assume they would make it backwards compatible. I think they said the DLC for Fallout 3 is.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. So, I didn't hear any of it. They just made Fallout New Vegas backwards compatible like a week ago. I didn't hear about if the DLC works for that or not, but supposedly that's supposed to all work like that. So, the sort of big deal that's been going on is this Counter-Strike Lotto scandal because two popular CSGO YouTubers also own the CSGO Lotto site. And you probably know more about it than I do. So I was reading on it, but I don't know anything about any of this stuff. So
yeah, these two guys made videos on YouTube going like, "Oh, you can win like $13,000 in 5 minutes if you go to this website and bet your skins." And they showed videos of them like making a lot of money from it, or getting like rare skins. And then someone dug around and found out that one of the guys owned the website, and the other guy was like on the board of directors. And it's like, that's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, that's a big conflict of interest.
The guy who owned the website, he's made a few videos since then, and he's made some pretty good excuses. One of his first ones was basically like, I just recently bought into the site, like, it just became under my control recently, and then someone dug around and found out that he was the one who incorporated it in the first place. And it's like, that's another strike.
That's the thing. I think that's sort of similar to the problem that, other than it being a gambling issue, is part of the thing that people have a problem with DraftKings and all that stuff is that the people that work there also get to be in that. So there's issues there, and I'm sure even the owners of the company might be doing stuff on the website and whatnot, and just that's the thing. How do we know that you're not making it to where you basically stealing people's skins and getting money off of it out of your own deal? So, like, for people like me that don't play this games, why are the skins so important?
They're just, I mean, it's all rare. Well, it makes your weapons look cool. Like, it's all a matter of, I mean, it's a weird market. Like, just because some skins go for like $400.
Damn.
To make your weapon like look different, or I think, like a paint job on your weapon or stuff like that, or like a kill counter on your weapon, like you got 400 kills or whatever. So yeah, I mean, Team Fortress 2 has the same stuff, like, but those are actually more functional rather than cosmetic. Like, these are all just cosmetic items, or mostly cosmetic, I should say. But yeah, and then like you can trade items in WoW, or not in WoW, in Steam, and essentially cash them out, like from PayPal and stuff. So, or people get their accounts hacked for their CS:GO items or the Team Fortress 2 items, or yeah, it's shady all around, kind of.
Yeah, that's hopefully they have more on this by the next time we do the podcast. But you think anything comes of this other than?
Well, a few lawsuits have sprung up against these guys, because this is a pretty big FTC violation, and one of the guys got hit by the FTC last year, or it might have been 2 years ago, for essentially he was uh or he was going like this is like he was going like this is an amazing game, and he was like part owner of the game that he was advertising, and the FTC does not look kindly on that type of stuff.
Right, exactly.
Uh, but yeah, some lawsuits have sprung up against these two guys, and I think one against Valve, because Valve really takes a blind eye to this stuff.
Uh-oh. Valve's not going to be happy about having
Yeah.
being a lawsuit over these people.
I mean, it'd be like trading like Overwatch skins or something if they actually allowed that in that game. So, yeah, I could see some rules getting tightened up with Counter Strike or Team Fortress, but that market's not going away because it makes too much money for Valve.
Right.
Like even Dota, like it's the same thing with Dota 2 skins. It's all the same crap.
Oh, we'll have to see if they discuss any. Are they remaking the Ghostbusters game again?
I hope not.
There's a Ghostbusters game that comes out this
No,
week.
that's it's tied into the film.
Oh, it's in the movie. Okay.
Yeah.
So it has the girl Ghostbusters in it. Then?
No, it just has 4 nameless characters.
Wow, you couldn't even get the actresses from the movie to like do something with it or anything. Wow.
Nope.
After all that, jeez, make something off of that.
And it's it looks like another dual joystick shooter.
Well, I guess can't be bad. Sort of. There is a what is it? So Blizzard is also sort of in a lawsuit because there's this German company named Bossland that made a cheating program so you can see people's health statuses and you can see team members on the map and stuff, and it hurts the game. I don't know how because I don't play Overwatch, but Blizzard just came copyright infringement on it. So.
Well, I think you can see enemies on the mini map. That's the
Right.
big problem. So if you can see where they are, that kind of gives you an advantage. Yeah, I'm of two minds with cheating programs because I love to cheat in single player games, but in multiplayer stuff, yeah, it can impact gameplay or can impact other people's experience quite heavily.
Well, the Division is one of those, right? It's
Yeah.
going through that. Part of the reason why they have so many issues.
Well, it's one of the reasons, like the PC version of that game, like 500 people are playing it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of those things.
So, I mean, Blizzard has sued other people in the past before, though, for like WoW cheating programs, and won. So, I envision that they'll do the same. They'll win on this one also.
Yeah, they'll probably win, I'm sure. I mean, this is something that's hurting their game, and they can prove it. So I don't see how the other company's gonna win at all. There is more characters coming to Killer Instinct, and possibly Joanna Dark and the Age of Crackdown. All for nameless agents showing up in
Yeah,
Killer
it's
Instinct.
like, what agent do you pick? Like the default one, or
Yeah, I guess. I mean, what? I guess they could give you different, color skins or whatever, right?
yeah,
So why not?
I would rather they take what is it? Fighting Vipers, I want to say. It might have been Fighters Mega Mix approach, and just put a fightable car in Killer Instinct that sits on 2 wheels and fights with his other 2 wheels.
That's wait. So What game is this? Is this stuff from Crackdown?
No, it was Fighters Megamix. It was an old
Okay.
Sega Saturn game. It was like a Virtual Fighter spinoff. But one of the hidden characters was a Daytona USA car.
Wow.
And it like stood on its back wheels and punched with its other two wheels.
Looks like the old, like, silent movie cartoon with the battling car.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And yeah, I think they need to do that with Killer Instinct. Like have their big Forza spinoff.
Ah! Wow. You sent me a picture. This looks so bad in the what's this, PS1 graphics?
Saturn, yeah.
Oh god. Wow, it looks so bad. I mean, at least now they can sort of make it into that old looking car and it sort of looks okay, but yeah.
I mean, more weird characters to Killer Instinct's not a bad thing, honestly. Like
no.
Joanna Dark's probably fine. I probably wouldn't pick the agent from Crackdown in it personally. Like why not go like weird and put like Banjo-Kazooie in it or something?
That wouldn't be too bad. I mean,
or Conquer, you know? I mean,
yeah, Conquer would fit, sort of. I mean, he's already lewd and whatever. You can just have him throw stuff at people or whatever.
or just screw it and just put in more Halo characters. I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
They own that franchise. Or Gears of War for that matter too.
Right. You can put Marcus Phoenix in there.
And they won't pay to get John DiMaggio to voice them.
No, probably not.
Cheap bastards with their Arbiter stuff.
They could. Thinking of another franchise that they own that they could put in.
Quantum Break.
Yeah, put the guy they put Alan Wake in there.
Yeah.
So there are new games in the EA Vault that you can get if you do EA Access with Need for Speed, the 2015 version, Unravel, and Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. So, yeah, not bad for Unravel. $5 instead of getting. I think it's on sale for $10 on both Xbox One and PS4 right now. I think because they're both doing big sales. So. Other than that, I think we head into the movie stuff, and we talked about the Warriors game showing up on PS4. Now they're remaking the Warriors movie with Joe and Anthony Russo, who are famous for the Captain America films. They want to make it into a TV show on Hulu. You think it works as a TV show?
I would say no, but I think the idea still has merit because the whole idea of the movie is them getting from New York to Coney Island, and it'd be hard to make that into a 13 episode TV show or however long it would go. But they could just do a TV show about a gang of the Warriors, and that would be fine.
You could still sort of tell that same story. It's something that hooks an audience.
Yeah, but at a certain point, like after the first season, it's like kind of like that Prison Break problem. It's like after the first season, he broke out of prison, and it's like that show still ran after 3 seasons over, and it's like the big thing already happened that people cared about.
Well, I mean, hey, I liked the movie back in the 80s.
Oh, so do I. I mean, it's a great movie. I'm not disparaging the movie at all, but it's just I think it'd just be hard to draw out that story into a multi-season possibly TV show.
Yeah, if it's one of those things where you say, okay, it's gonna be one season, I think you can do it.
Yeah, if they were just like we were given 18 episodes, then that'd be fine. But if it's just unknown about this thing could run 8 seasons, it's like crap. How can we draw this out? It's like seasons 7 through 8 where we got from 15th Street to 18th Street, and it only took us 13 episodes to do it.
Yeah. I mean, oh god, I could totally see that happening too. It's
It's,
like
it's almost it's almost kind. Do you watch Orange Is the New Black at all?
yes,
Have you seen the new season?
not new season. No, not yet.
Like there is some really weird time stuff going on in that season because it's like you watch an episode and then you watch the next one, but like the next episode's only like literally like the day after or like 2 days after, and
How
it's
long
like,
are they planning for that thing to go? Like, I guess they only want her to be out of
well,
prison, like in the last season.
it's season. They're up to they got renewed to season 7, I think. So
Right.
up till then,
So that's probably what it is. Like, okay, she has this thought of season 7, it being season 7, and okay, that's when we'll do the whole, okay, she's out of prison or whatever. I'm assuming she doesn't want to do, because once you get out of there, then it's just like any other show.
yeah,
So, eh.
just like Prison Break.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're not doing that, where now they turn it into a different show because, oh, well, she eventually had to get out of prison, Like, I guess she could, but, you can do, she obviously has, she's done other shows. You could, do something else with it, but, uh, Power Rangers is apparently going to be dark. We already talked about Bryan Cranston being Zordon, and, he kind of said it, don't think of it like the TV show, think of it like the Batman movies where they got dark. And, the Green Ranger could be in there. So, does this make
Yeah,
you more interested?
I think him and Elizabeth Banks would be interested in it, and it depends on how embarrassing it's going to be.
I think they're going to try to not make it embarrassing. Like, they're going to try to sort of make it different than the show in that, you kind of knew the show was just, I've gone back and watched some of the original series and how badly it was made and everything, and you just laugh at it. I don't think that they want to do that kind of hokey stuff with this necessarily.
So are they going to turn Alpha 5 into like some super kick-ass robot?
I think you'll still get the Power Rangers stuff, I'm sure, but they want. I'm gonna think that they want more people to be drawn into it
That
than
is,
just.
they still need the theme song though.
Yes. Do they still use that necessarily, or have they
No,
gone away
with
from?
every iteration they make a new theme song that's kind of progressively worse and worse.
I mean, I guess since the series has gone on that long, eventually you can't nail it with the with those things at one point. Cody Rhodes going to be an Arrow. We talked about this on the wrestling podcast, but hey, him and Stephen Amell have that good relationship, so this should be fun. What he gets
Yeah,
to do.
hopefully he actually gets something to do.
I think like Amell kind of being friends with him and sort of knowing him, I think he's going to get a decent role. I don't think they're going to make him any kind of like character that would need him to be recurring or something, but
Why not? I mean, he's not. I mean, he's wrestling, but he doesn't have like a weekly grind anymore. So,
well, supposedly he's just going to come back pretty soon. So I don't
uh,
know.
like remember when? I don't know if do you watch. You don't watch The Flash, do you?
No.
Yeah, Adam Copeland was in the first episode of the second season of The Flash, and he's in it for 3 minutes, and he's the main bad guy in that episode, and it's like, why even have him?
I mean, he could. I mean, technically, you could just shoot all his scenes or whatever in his days off or whatnot, and uh, they could figure out a way around his schedule if they wanted to.
Yeah. Also, I think if he comes back to wrestling, I think he's probably gonna have a lighter schedule.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. I mean, he's still young, so it's not like they would say, okay, well, it's because you're too old or whatever. But
Well, honestly, with this brand split thing, they need him more than he needs them.
right, uh, eh, they do definitely need him, but I think I don't know that he necessarily. There's word going around that it might be a total like work between him and Triple H, so we'll see if that was all the intention or not, or if that ever comes out necessarily. But a game that a show that my brother was actually on once, Double Dare, is going to show up at Comic Con for one night. And even freaking Mark Summers going to be back. Now I want to watch this. Mark Summers is going to be on 30th anniversary of Double Dare. Yes, I watched as a kid and I loved it.
That was in the heyday when Nickelodeon meant something.
Yeah, when they had all those like shows that really felt like they were just all awesome. But
When it wasn't just SpongeBob SquarePants 24 hours of the day.
yeah, or Paw Patrol or whatever. It seems like that kids block goes longer and longer now in the morning.
Well, it's weird that I don't think Nickelodeon has any TV shows right now that have like humans in them, do they?
They do, but they're not anywhere. Like I think after Zach or not Zach, yeah, Drake or whatever, the one with Drake and what's his face? I forgot what they're Drake and Josh. I think like those things kind of died, and they had the one about the band or whatever, and that was about it. Like,
Yeah, but like the old game shows like Double Dare, Guts, Hidden Temple. It's like those haven't been on that show, that
oh no, yeah.
that channel for a decade, if not more.
Well, that's why they made that. What is it? The Nick Gas channel where you have.
And then they started screwing that up also.
How could you screw that up? It's really not that hard.
Because they started adding more new stuff to it.
Oh boy. Just leave it the way it is. If it's only reruns like Boomerang, it's not hard. Well, so we pretty much get to the new releases, which there aren't that many. I already talked about the Ghostbusters game. That Song of the Deep game, which actually looks pretty interesting, comes out for Xbox One and PS4. One of the first ones that are published by GameStop. Insomniac Games made it. You sort of interested or no?
Yeah, I'll see the reviews. Like if it actually does well, I'll probably pick it up. Also, that Gas Network is ended a decade ago.
You also have what is it? The Monster Hunter Generations that comes out on the 15th for the 3DS, and the Infinium Strike that comes to, I think, everything that matters. PS4, PC, Macintosh, all that, which is like a space strategy action game. And you get the Hawken game for PS4. And a Mobile Suit Gundam game for Vita. So there's still stuff sort of coming out for Vita. But yeah, so what is your top 8 about this week?
Let's see. Oh, the top 8 games that should get like an HD remaster.
And the top 5 this week, I'm still trying to I got to figure this out while I'm doing the other stuff here, so I can send it out to you guys. Last week's was top 5 visual novels, which
I did not do a list for.
Yeah, there's no reason to send it to Mark, so I just like, John was so happy to get a top 5 about visual novels.
What's great about my column this week was like I picked games that were old, like Sonic the Hedgehog, or like Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. And someone in the comments was like, "I want an HD remake of Red Dead Redemption and Mass Effect," and it's like, those games are already in HD. Like they could look better, but not much. Like, what do you want?
Yeah, who knows? But, alright, well, that's it for this week. Sorry, I kind of had to hurry through things. But, hey, there wasn't like a ton out there to really discuss or anything. Hopefully next week, we get more info on stuff. You know, that NX is still out there, and Nintendo still refuses to talk about it. So, at some point, they got to open that lid. Because, Mars is going to come faster than they think, and I don't know if waiting till like November is the best decision or anything, but who knows on that. Well, until next week, enjoy your games, everybody, and see you later.
Later.